The scoring leader in this tournament, Sergei Makarov, who had 2 assists in the game and now in 8 games in the tournament, has 7 goals and 7 assists for 14 points. Karutov with his 6th goal, Kazatanov as well with 2 assists in the game. Actually, the goal scorers were Sartakov along with Karutov. They got the 3rd and 4th goals for the Soviet Union. In the first period, it was Shluktov and Larionov. So 4-0, the Soviets off to another of their starts as they shut out the Swedes, led by the shutout goaltending of who else but Vladislav Tretiak, who has given up but 1 goal in 5 to defeat Czechoslovakia 3-1 on 3 goals by Marcel Dion. And we'll be right back. Goal as he has been throughout this tournament for Team Canada. The referee will be Pertti Juhala of Finland, Anatoly Baranov of the Soviet Union, and Gustavo Alamo on the line. And with the play-by-play, here's Bernie Pascoe.
Thanks, Ron. Hello, everybody. Czechoslovakia in red against Team Canada in white. And the puck is brought in by Yuri Lala, one of the exciting forwards of Czechoslovakia, right in front. He scores! Yuri Lala opens the scoring. After 14 seconds of play, Czechoslovakia, Yuri Lala, and it's 1-0.
Lala allowed to get away from his check in the corner and come straight out from the corner with that puck. There he is, in against the boards. The puck is poked away, and he just whips away from the checking of Craig Hartsburg, and he put it right between the legs of Rick Wamsley. Canada in a hole early, as they were in the first game in this series against Czechoslovakia when they were down 1-0. There you see it, away from the checking and right between the legs of Wamsley. 1-0.
Now back to the action. Here's Anderson of Team Canada. He's knocked against the boards by Uvira. Uvira comes along the sideboards to get the puck, leaves it there for Igor Liba. Liba loses it to John Anderson. Anderson trying to get it to Sittler in front. Here's Anderson again. The puck gets away from him. Team Canada's Daryl Sittler. He's squeezed off the play, and the Czechoslovakians come out. It's brought up to the center ice area, and Vincent Lukac had it momentarily, then it was knocked off his stick. Edward Uvira, a pass to Igor Liba at center ice, now forced back inside his own blue line. An early goal by Yuri Lala, and Czechoslovakia in front 1-0. Both teams at full strength. This is Hardina, long shot, wide of goaltender Rick Wamsley. Canada in their own zone now. Number 11 for Team Canada, that's Mike Gartner of the Washington Capitals. It's deflected by Dennis Marouk. Back for it, number 12, Pavel Richter, in his 4th World Hockey Championship. Czechoslovakia now on the attack. Miroslav Dvorak, a drop pass, Ruzicka's shot, and that's deflected wide, cleared in front, and Czechoslovakia still with possession. Richter, a drive, and that's kicked out by Wamsley. Canada's Dennis Marouk was checked. Richter has it again, then he's hammered to the ice, but the puck is cleared into the Team Canada zone. Brian Engblom, a pass ahead to Gartner. Gartner leaves it for Marouk, and it's poke checked off his stick by Arnold Kadlec. Bouncing puck at the side of the Team Canada goal. Brian Engblom goes after it, number 9 for Canada. Engblom slaps it off the boards. It comes outside the line and rolls back to the Czechoslovakian side of center ice. 1-0 Czechoslovakia on a first period goal, 14 seconds, Yuri Lala. That shot deflected high over the glass and out of play. Quite a pace, Ron, here in the early going.
Very, very quick pace and good tempo.
Just underway, Waters of Team Canada clears the puck ahead to Marcel Dion. Dion dropping it back for James Patrick, and he's been very impressive here at the World Hockey Championships. Patrick, number 6, the youngster from University of North Dakota, a native of Saskatchewan. František Černík, number 14, slaps it off the boards. Edward Uvira tries to get it out. He fails. That's right on, and stopped by goaltender Yuri Kralik. They scramble for possession. It's held there, and they get a whistle from the Finnish referee, Pertti Juhala.
Tough, and Team Canada is just trying to get its act together right now, and seemingly they are. Lala from Svozil at the 14-second mark, 1-0 Czechoslovakia.
Now after the puck for Czechoslovakia, Miroslav Dvorak. Dvorak had it bounce off Team Canada's Paul Reinhart, who's up front now, number 7. Reinhart playing that left wing on a line with youngster Shervin at right side. And number 18 for Canada, Dave Taylor. Almost breaking in there was Shervin, but he lost control. The puck is cleared down. It'll be icing. Hartsburg goes back and touches it. Icing against Czechoslovakia.
Well, the veterans do the little things, Bernie, and Miroslav-Dvorjak, as Shervin was trying to break over the line. You're looking there at Craig Hartsburg. He just gave him the little hook. It was just enough to pull him off the puck. There's Marcel Dion. As usual, a good tournament has Marcel representing Canada, as he says again, for the last time. But he keeps coming back.
And he's really been outstanding in the championships. In the preliminary round, got 3 goals in the 3-1 win over Czechoslovakia. After the puck, Yuri Hardina trying to get it out. He failed. Kralik steers that to the corner. And Milan Halupa, the veteran defenseman for Czechoslovakia, number 5, attempted to get it out and failed. Canada, Daryl Sittler goes after the puck. It's back to the line. Brian Engblom keeps it in. Now it's cleared around in behind the Czechoslovakia net. Rolled in front. Here's Anderson, a shot. And Kralik took it high, juggled it, and then smothers the puck to get a face-off. And we'll be back in just a moment. All set now for the face-off. We've played 4 minutes and 1 second here in the opening period. Czechoslovakia on a goal by Yuri Lala from Sposil at 14 seconds. Canada's number 17, Michel Goulet, goes after the puck there. It's cleared to center. Deflected off a player at the blue line. Now it's deflected back into the Team Canada zone. And back for it there goes Taylor. And it's icing against Czechoslovakia.
Well, we had the early goal 14 seconds in, almost before they got their skating legs, but since then the ice has seemed to tilt a little bit towards the Czechoslovakian end. A tremendous scoring chance, and he has had 4 or 5 shots now in the span since the goal, and I think Wamsley has been pretty well untested.
Pashek, number 21, the center now for Czechoslovakia. Both teams at full strength here in the first period at the Olympia Halle in Munich, and a beautiful day weather-wise, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Beautiful spring-like day here in Munich, West Germany. Now away goes number 21, Dusan Pashek. Gets it in front, but it's called on an offside. And a penalty coming up, I believe. The referee, Johola, is talking to a player there and heads over to tripping infraction to Czechoslovakia's
ground line with Dave Taylor. It wasn't the line itself. Bernie wasn't together that much this year. Charlie Simmer had a pretty good year, but he played on other lines. Taylor spent a lot of the season, almost half the season, on the injury list.
The philosophy there, of course, Dave King saying at least they're familiar with each other, having played on the same team, and he did likewise with Gartner and Dennis Maruc. But here's Canada now on the power play. The puck deflected into the Czechoslovakian zone. Arnold Kadlec, number 8, a pass straight up the middle. Going away, Sposil, a shot, and that's off the target, and behind the net goes Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg trying to get it ahead. Kept in by Prentisak Chernik into the corner, number 20. That's Yuri Lala. He has scored the only goal of the game for Czechoslovakia. Chernik behind the net, trying to dig it from the corner. Gets it back to the line. There's a shot, and it took a weird bounce in front of goaltender Rick Walmsley. Lala clears it to the line, then gets it. Charlie Simmer trying to knock it loose and force back in his own zone now is Marcel Dion. Here comes Dion for Team Canada. Canada on the power play. Simmer. He's hauled down as he got across the Czechoslovakian line. Dave Taylor goes into the corner after it. Charlie Simmer trying to help out. It's steered around the boards, but not out. Hartsburg keeps it in. Hartsburg to Paul Reinhardt. In front, a shot by Marcel Dion. Here's Hartsburg. A drive. That's knocked down and held onto by goaltender Yuri Kralik.
Tremendous amount of credit there to Dave Taylor, who got himself in front of the net. He's number 18 as you take a look at this sequence. Look at him in front of the net, also joined there by Charlie Simmer. That's size up front. You want that. And here comes the shot in, and there's no way that Kralik saw that one. The rebound came right back out, and another great chance coming in from the blue line. So Canada on the power play had a couple of good chances. They've still got 42 seconds left in it.
And Yuri Kralik has been brilliant in goal so far. Now Canada getting set again. Another drive right on. Knocked down in front as Brian Engblom took that shot. He's on defense with Doug Hallward. Engblom of the Washington Capitals, Hallward of the Vancouver Canucks. Digging for the puck is Brian Propp, and it's held against the boards. And we have 24 seconds remaining in the Team Canada power play.
Interesting, we talk about Charlie Simmer, who has always been the slugger on that line. That was the way he actually moved himself into the Los Angeles Kings. I think he weighed 145 pounds. One of the reasons he went in the very, very late in the draft. He grew some coming out of college, Clarkson, and now become one of the good hockey players in the league, one of the good stars.
Now Propp clears the puck around the boards, trying to get it back to Hallward. He keeps it in, but collides. Here's a 2-on-1 break now for Czechoslovakia. Lala coming in, a shot. That's stopped by goaltender Rick Wamsley. Dangerous break there for Czechoslovakia, 2-on-1. Penalized player steps on the ice. Both teams are back at full strength. Czechoslovakia enjoying a 1-0 lead on an early goal by Yuri Lala. Off the boards it goes. Lala has the puck now for Czechoslovakia. Chased back by number 17, Michel Goulet. Up over the line now. This is Lala-Svozil. He's knocked down. Trying to carry on there was Valik. And Canada races out of their own zone. Here's Maruк, a shot. And it's off the glove of Yuri Kralik. Another chance. And Kralik smothers it and holds on. And we'll be back in just a moment. We played 7 minutes and 20 seconds here in the opening period. Czechoslovakia leading 1-0. This is Bernie Pascal along with Ron Roosh at the Olympia Halle in Munich, West Germany. Maruк intercepts the pass at his own blue line, cleared it to the center ice area where Pashak, number 21, has it for Czechoslovakia. It's dropped back to Dvorjak. Both teams at full strength as Pashak now swings out of his own zone. Pashak on the right side, taken out of the play by James Patrick. Czalder trying to get it there, helped out by teammate Pashak in front of the Team Canada net, and Tim Waters slapped that away. Waters then lifts the puck outside his own blue line. Brought right back in by Czechoslovakia's Kadlex. In behind the net now, this is Valik. Valik collides with the Team Canada player Goulet and knocked him down. Rather, Gartner, number 11. Here's a chance for Maruк. Leaves it there. Slapped loose at center ice. And having trouble with it. The break now for Paul Reinhardt. Coming right in front. And he's pulled over as he tried to jump over Jaroslav-Benak. Coming right back into the Team Canada zone. And it's covered up nicely by Doug Hallward, number 2. He lifts it straight up the middle into the Czechoslovakian zone. Kralik out of the net for Benak. Benak, number 9, behind his own net. A pass up on the right side, intercepted by Team Canada. Reinhardt trying to get in front of the net, and it's scooped away and brought back out by Czechoslovakia. Up over the line. Liba slips and falls just as he got over the line, and Canada's Marcel Dion trying to set up Bob Gainie now. And Gainie reached it, just got away from him. Milan Halupa, pass right in front of his own net. Canada couldn't get possession there as the puck was bouncing around. Now another chance. Up over the line. Reinhardt deflected it in, and it's right to the Czechoslovakian player. 9 minutes and 30 seconds have been played here in the opening period. Puck is brought in by Uvira. Intercepted by Scott Stevens. Stevens clears it out to the center ice area. Propp trying to get it. A delayed penalty coming up, and it'll be a holding infraction to Brian Propp of Team Canada.
Well, Canada will go short-handed now. The Czechoslovakians got a shot at 14s. They're out there, led by Anderson, along with Sittler. And Stevens is going to work out there. No, he comes off the ice now, and Engblom's going to go out there along with Craig Hartsburg. So the penalty killer's out. See how Canada handles this.
Ruzicka, number 17, the big centerman for Czechoslovakia. He has the puck now, drops it there for number 12, Pavel Richter. Richter, he drops it for Ruzicka, coming up over the Team Canada line to Richter. Richter's number 12 takes it into the corner, and it's knocked off his stick by Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg got it to Sittler, then he was checked. Coming in front now is Richter. He's tied up, can't get a shot, and it's brought out by Team Canada, Bob Gainie. Number 12, Anderson, cleared the puck into the Czechoslovakian zone. He's out on the ice there. Daryl Sittler, number 27. The pass comes up. Long drive there by Lukac. Right on, stopped by goaltender Rick Wamsley. Now it's shot down the ice, and we have 1:05 remaining in the penalty to Brian Propp. Bringing it in, František-Černík. He was stopped by Bob Gejni, and the puck slapped down the ice into the Czechoslovakian zone. Kádlec, number 8. He leaves it there for Svozil. Now they take turns taking it out of their own zone. Drop back to the center ice area. Long shot by Kádlec. That almost fooled goaltender Wamsley, but he got a piece of it. 37 seconds left in the penalty to Brian Propp. Czechoslovakia leading 1-0. Dvorjak in his own zone. He drops it back. Czechoslovakia on the power play. Get it over the line. After it is Černík into the corner. He's hammered against the boards. Waters goes after it. Here's a chance at the line. A shot. They score! 2-0 Czechoslovakia.
Well, Czechoslovakia has made them count. That was a deflection in front of the net. They are enjoying Miroslav Dvorjak. He was the man cruising in front, the old veteran. And let's take a look at it. As against the boards, it is cleared into the zone, or back to the blue line. Here comes the shot now, cruising in front of that net. Did he get it, stick on it? Yuri Lala, I believe he did. And if so, he'll eventually get credit for it. Let's take a look at it again. Into the corner, the check thrown by Gulé in there. The puck coming back. This is on the power play from the blue line. It's a hard slap shot, but watch the man in front of the net, Lala. Did he deflect it or not?
Well, so František-Černík does get it changed to Yuri Lala. So Lala's second goal of the game, and it's 2-0 for Czechoslovakia. Ron, as you mentioned, Lala was right in front of the net. Dvorjak took the shot, and it obviously tipped off Yuri Lala, credited now with the goal. Frolic away out of the net, steers it off the sideboards. Svoboda of Czechoslovakia digging for it with Pashek. Team Canada's Bob Gejni trying to come up with it. Marcel Dion goes after the puck, and it's knocked away from him. Vladimir Czalder has it at his own blue line. Good check just outside of the Czechoslovakian line, and Czalder will try again. Czalder clears it up. Gejni for Canada intercepts. Can't get over the blue line. And Czechoslovakia swinging out of their own zone again. Vалек, a long shot. Comes off the backboards. Almost fooled goaltender Wamsley. 12-15 have been played here in the opening period as Gejni of Team Canada at center. Up to Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg on the right. Slips and falls. And the puck is brought back by Czechoslovakia's Rushnak. He clears it to center. Propp has it there for Canada. He lifts it into the corner. Daryl Sittler after it there to Propp. Propp spun around and falls behind the net. Couldn't get a shot away. Now it's brought out to the center ice area. This is Vincent Lukacs. Up over the line. It's offside. We'll be back in a moment. Czechoslovakia leading Team Canada by a score of 2-0. Halupa shot. Oh, and that deflection, Ron, almost knocked into the net by Ruzicka, standing right by Wamsley.
They're dangerous. They're not getting that many shots, but the ones they're getting have a high quality factor. Let's take a look at this one. Number 17 in front of the net is Ruzicka. Spun around in the corner is Pavel Richter. It comes off the boards and just deflected in, and Wamsley lost sight of it. He reached behind him. He didn't know exactly where it was at all, and about the only thing he could do is kind of reach back and hope it was underneath him somehow.
Ruzicka has it again, number 17, cleared it right in front, and Gartner comes back for Canada. Gartner into the corner. Race for it there. Michel Goulet got to it. It's steered around. Dennis Maruc then backhands it into the corner. Knocked against the boards is Goulet. Trying to dig that puck loose. Gartner had a piece of it. Engblom had it go by him. A good check there, handed out by Stevens as he stepped into number 24, Hardina. Now Gartner trying to get that pass on the left side to Michel Goulet. Gartner's in behind the net, in front, nowhere near Dennis Maruc. And Czechoslovakia swings out again. Ruzicka up over the line, and Hardina had it knocked off his stick. Knocked down with the high stick. And the call from the referee, Juhola of Finland.
Well, there's Brian Engblom, and was eventually a winner in the Memorial Cup with the Kitchener Rangers, and has become a tremendous NHL defenseman.
Shot right on from the face-off by Svozil, and goaltender Rick Wamsley holds on another whistle. Mike Beiser of the Hartford Whalers is the backup for Team Canada. As Ron mentioned, the earlier game today, by a score of 4-0. And Czechoslovakia leads this one 2-0 on 2 goals here in the first period by Yuri Lala. Frantisek-Chernik's shot deflected. That hits the mesh up high behind the net.
Well, so much depends on the fellow you just saw on your screen, Rick Walmsley. Goaltending is the key. They talk about it in the Stanley Cup. There's Chernik, the captain of the Czechoslovakian team, now taking over from Milan Novi. And with the pressure's on, you've got to get big goaltending.
Now the puck is deflected by Bob Gainie. It rolls to the Czechoslovakian line. Charlie Simmer let it go. Hартсбурg. He feeds it over. Now it comes to Gainie. Too hot for him to handle, and it rolls into the Czechoslovakian zone. Gainie ran into his player, Benak. Comes around the boards. Marcel Dion went after it. It comes out to Doug Hallward. Hallward, number 2. He clears it into the corner. Gainie racing in after it there. Gainie for Canada, trying to get it back. He's all tied up by Arnold Kadletz. And it comes out to the center ice area. Break now for Yuri Lala's shot. That bounced off Paul Reinhardt and just went wide. Canada's Charlie Simmer up to the center ice area with Daryl Sittler. Sittler's checked just as he crossed the line and is brought back in by Uvira. Uvira drop pass for Liba. He was knocked off stride. And Patrick, a lead pass for Sittler. Patrick carrying on. Goes in behind the net. After it there, John Anderson of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anderson, he was checked against the boards, and it's brought back out now by number 18, Rusnak. Rusnak for Czechoslovakia shot, and that goes wide of goaltender Rick Walmsley. Patrick, number 6 for Team Canada, up over the line to Propp to Sitler, and he couldn't get a shot as he was right in front of the net. And it's cleared off the boards back into the Team Canada zone. We've played 15 minutes and 40 seconds here in the opening period. This game live from the Olympia Halle in Munich, West Germany. Here's a chance now for Canada's Baruch. And what a save again by Yuri Kralik. And we'll come back now to West Germany. Bernie Pascal with Ron Roots. A shot there right from inside the blue line off the stick of Scott Stevens. Dennis Marouk dumps it in front, trying to get the pass to Michel Goulet. And it's brought back out now by Ruzicka. Ruzicka spins inside the line, dumps it in front. Puck is bounced right onto the stick of Pavel Richter. Richter back to the blue line. Benak getting set. There's a shot knocked down, and Marouk has it for Canada. Gets it up to center ice. After it there, Ruzicka inside his own line. Over to Yaroslav Benak. Intercepted by Dennis Marouk. Here's Marouk of Canada getting it in front. And Goulet couldn't handle that pass. And Czechoslovakia comes racing back again. Number 24, Hardina. In behind the Team Canada net, swings in front. Try to get that pass. Stevens bumped him. Now it's cleared and deflected outside the line by Team Canada's Michel Goulet. And he heads to the bench immediately. Chernik, number 14 for Czechoslovakia. Marouk. After him, it's cleared off the board. Stopped at center by Doug Hallward. Here comes Hallward, a lead pass over the line for Gainie, intercepted by Chernik. Chernik getting set for Czechoslovakia. Back to the line, a drive off the stick of Svozil is knocked down. Now it's out to center ice, Dave Taylor of Canada. Intercepted by Svozil. Now, Taylor gets it back for Canada, shot, a toe save, another drive, they score! Hартсбурg! A bullet drive by Craig Hартsburg on the rebound, and it's Canada on the scoreboard, trailing now 2-1.
Long rebound, but a great scoring chance right off the top of it. Here it comes now, is breaking it over the line. There's the hard shot. Lala, at least Kralik made the save. The puck came out, and on the long rebound, here comes the blast by Hартсбурg, and Canada is on the board. I'm sure they were wondering when it was going to come. There it is again, breaking it over the line. You see Dave Taylor get that shot away. A good save in its own right, but the rebound came right back into the deep slot. Easy beat for a defenseman coming in on it.
Well, Craig Hартsburg playing it perfectly, capitalizing on the rebound off the shot of Dave Taylor. Hартsburg played last year in the World Championships in Finland. He was named to the second All-Star team, who is working on the headset with the bench with Jean Perron. Talking to Dave King before the game, he said, granted it is difficult putting a team together for the World Championships, taking players from NHL clubs that have been eliminated from the playoffs, but he says when you have the quality players like the Marcel Dionnes, the Darryl Sittlers, and the Bob Gainie, he said they have great leadership qualities, and he said if you can start with a trio like that, it's very important. And he's had nothing but praise for Team Canada. They've really put their act together and have played outstanding hockey here at the World Championship. Dvorjak in behind the net. A pass on the left side, Liba. He clears it out to the center ice area. Knocked off stride there was Vincent Lukacs, and Canada has it again. Here comes Taylor. Dave Taylor, who set up the last goal, fires that right through the crease. Lukacs up to his own blue line. Bringing it in now is Liba. Liba's shot almost fooled Rick Wamsley on that one as he let it go, trying to spin around the defenseman. It's pinned against the boards, now cleared by Liba right back into his own zone. Taylor goes after it, but it's taken back now by number 6, Dvorjak. Up over the Team Canada line. He drops it into the middle for Calder. He can't get a shot as we played 18 minutes and 15 seconds here in the opening period. One goal separating the two teams. Czechoslovakia leading by a score of 2-1 on 2 goals by Lala, and Craig Hartsburg has scored for Canada. Brian Propp, he has it momentarily, then it's cleared into the Team Canada zone. Hartsburg goes after it there. Team Canada winning a bronze medal last year at Finland, and very much in the medal contention this time around at the World Championships in West Germany. John Anderson is checked. There will be a penalty. Looks like a high sticking infraction.
I think on retaliation, and that's the kind of penalty. Oh, but going off is Dusan Pashak, one of the young players on this team who played in the second division this year in Czechoslovakia. Boy, I tell you, Rudy.
And Mike Gartner. Hartsburg is on the defensive point on the right side, and Craig Hartsburg, the other defenseman for Canada. Golden opportunity to tie up the game here in the late going of the first period. Hartsburg ahead now. Brought up over the line to Gartner, to Michel Goulet. Goulet fires it behind the net. Maruc goes after it there, trying to get it in front. It bounces off Reinhart. Here's a chance now, and it's cleared down the ice with Wamsley away out of the net. We have 40 seconds left to play in the first period. Canada on a power play. Gartner's up over the line. A shot knocked down by defenseman Uvira. Another drive by Maruc. All around the net, and it's brought out by Pavel Richter. Gets it out to the center ice area, then heads to the bench. Lala drops it back to his own zone to Dvorjak. Dvorjak is bumped there by Hartsburg. Carries on. Pass in front, intended for Chernik, and Reinhart intercepts that. 10 seconds left in the period. Here's Maruc. Straight up the middle now for Canada. Drops it back to Gartner. Reinhart into the corner, 2 seconds, and that'll do it. The first period is over, and Canada will still have a power play opportunity at the start.
Play was a bit shaky in the early going of the period. He just really wasn't quite ready. And, you know, when you get scored on 14 seconds, we're about set to go for period number 2. And what will unfold for Team Canada in period...
Nick will take the draw against Dennis Maruc, number 21, who had one of his strongest periods at the World Championships in that first 20-minute session. Maruc goes after the puck. It's slapped into the Team Canada zone, and after it there is Paul Reinhart of the Calgary Flames. Reinhart on defense with Craig Hartsburg. The pass comes ahead to Michel Goulet. Goulet shoots it into the Czechoslovakian zone. In behind the net now goes Halupa. In his own zone, a pass on the right side, Yuri Lala. Lala at the center ice area, up over the line, a shot. Wamsley stops it. The rebound is taken away by Craig Hartsburg. Up on the right side goes Gartner. Into the middle to Maruc. Here's Goulet getting set. Trying to get the short side, stopped by Yuri Kralik. Goulet behind the net. In front, Gartner's shot. That's knocked down by veteran defenseman Halupa. Gartner has it again. At the side, trying to jam it in was Goulet, and he's checked. Benok goes after the puck, leaves it for Chernik. František Chernik off the boards. Kept in by Paul Reinhart of Canada. Now Chernik steals it from him. Chernik in with Lala. In front, a shot. And that stopped as Lala was breaking in on the left side. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Olympia Hall in West Germany. Here's Czechoslovakia's Lukacs taken into the corner. and Team Canada comes up with it. Geinie up the middle now for John Anderson. He tried to catch up to it, and Kralik came away out of the net to break up that play. Svoboda, number 15, clears it ahead to Liba. Liba sends the pass to number 23. That's Vincent Lukacs. Liba, number 11, has it for Czechoslovakia. Ahead to Lukacs. Had trouble with the pass. Intercepted there by Scott Stevens. And Stevens lost it. Czechoslovakia gets possession again. Svoboda in his own zone. Both teams at full strength. We've played 2 minutes here in the second period. And Czechoslovakia leading by a score of 2-1. Ryan Propp in deep forechecking in the Czechoslovakian zone as Hardina swings out of his own area. Up over the center line, a shot right on goal. Wamsley stopped that. Geinie, he cleared it right onto the stick of Dvorjak. Here's Dvorjak, swung around in his own, in the Canada zone by James Patrick. Trying to get a backhand shot there. There's a drive by Richter, and Wamsley stopped that. Patrick in his own zone just slaps it off the boards. A mix-up in the Team Canada zone. Chernik all tied up there with Marcel Dion, or rather, that was Hardina, number 24. Tim Waters on defense now for Team Canada to Hartsburg, up over the line. Intended for Charlie Simmer. It got over his stick. Playing without the helmet there, Hardina, number 24. Richter slaps it ahead, and it's intercepted there by James Patrick, number 6 for Team Canada. Shot right on the rebound. And Ruzicka tried to fire that one away, and there's a hooking penalty against Team Canada.
Well, two things, Bernie, on this that are evident. One, Team Canada had a much better tempo starting, and it's a different Rick Wamsley in the second period than we saw in the first period.
I'm sure, Ron, as you mentioned, he had those first period jitters. Players into the medal round, and Rick Wamsley getting a taste of it for the first time in his young professional hockey career. Hartsburg goes in behind his own net, number 5. He has scored the Team Canada goal. Darryl Sittler, number 27, almost stole the puck as he got over the Czechoslovakian line as we approach the 3-minute, 20-second mark of period number 2. Halupa, right in front of his own net, ahead to Yuri Lala, just out of reach. That would have been a dangerous play as Lala can really motor. This is Miroslav Dvorjak. Leaves it there, and it's brought out now by Svozil. Svozil coming up over the line with number 19, Czalder, and it's called by the Soviet linesman.
With Canada versus the Soviet Union, the traditional finish to all world championships. It seems almost all of them.
Darius Rusnak is number 18 taking this face-off against number 11 for Team Canada. That's Mike Gardner of the Washington Capitals, appearing in his 3rd straight World Hockey Championships. Swinging now on the left side is Vincent Lukacs. Lukacs up over the Team Canada line. A backhand shot. That's knocked down. Loose puck. They score! On the rebound as the puck bounced around and capitalizing in front. Rusnak, and he fires it past Wamsley. The puck taking a weird bounce. He capitalized on it, Ron, and made no mistake.
Well, it was just one of those unlucky things, and this one you couldn't blame Rick Wamsley for at all, the defenseman. The puck just seemed to keep bouncing along, and suddenly wound up in the slot. Rusnak was right there, going to his knees with Engblom, but nothing at all that Wamsley could do on that one, and Rusnak gets the goal, and now Czechoslovakia is in a 3-1 lead. Canada just keeps finding itself in deep holes here. Again, you take a look at it. This long rush over the line, getting it into Lukacs. Working, and it just bounces. It bounced away from everybody. And suddenly, right there in front, he got the shot away with Rusnak.
Follow the bouncing puck, and that's exactly what Rusnak did. Native of Bratislava, Czechoslovakia, gives the Czechoslovakia national team a 3-1 lead. And we played 4 minutes here in the second period. Rusnak getting the goal, assisted by Vincent Lukacs. Now up over the line goes Pashek. Tried to get a pass on the right side to Czalder, but that was broken out. Back to the action. Here comes Team Canada. Gullet passing it over now. A shot right on off the stick of Scott Stevens. And Czechoslovakia now as play opens up. Czalder brings it over the line, coming right in front, and it's hooked away off his stick as Brian Engblom has it. Engblom for Canada. Up the middle. Over the line comes Gartner trying to drop it back for Dennis Marouk. At center ice, Czalder takes a long shot wide of goaltender Rick Wamsley. Scott Stevens up to Dennis Marouk. Two teammates with the Washington Capitals. Marouk sends a pass to Taylor, but he's offside on left wing.
On the power play.
Face-off just outside the Czechoslovakian line. Svoboda, number 15, chases it behind his own net. In for checking is Marcel Dion. Svoboda took exception to Marcel Dion swinging at him. Now they pin the pocket
again.
Here's a chance for Milan Halupa now in his own zone. He left it there. Pratysek-Chernik now will bring it out. The Czechoslovakian captain forced back by Bob Gejni. Now, yes, he leaves it for Halupa. Gejni's right on top of Milan Halupa. Chernik gets the puck again. It's a 1-2 passing combination there. And a little stick swinging at the Team Canada bench as the players there took exception of Chernik being checked and his stick went over the boards.
Well, you see the officials, Pertti Juhala of Finland, as we look at the in Prague, where Czechoslovakia won the championships for 3 years.
Liba, Rushnak, and Lukac, the forward line for Czechoslovakia and for Team Canada. With the puck now, it's cleared along the boards by Brian Propp, and he was checked. Propp goes after it again. Out there with Daryl Sittler and John Anderson. The pass comes to Sittler. Propp almost went offside, then put on the brakes. Broken up at the Czechoslovakian line, brought back in by Khatlets. His shot, he scores! Oh, what a drive by Khatlets that completely fooled Rick Wamsley, and it's 4-1. An innocent-looking play, but a booming shot as Khatlets let it go, Ron, and boy, that fooled Rick Wamsley.
High to the stick side. Take a look at it. Over the line, and he just drives it. It may have deflected. We don't know. We'll have to look for another angle, but certainly it appears that Wamsley has the angle cut off. At least he thought he did, and it got by him into the far corner. Suddenly, it is 4-1. Let's take a look at it again as the play is stripped. And back down over the line comes number 8, Khatlets. Here comes the shot. Right over the blocker.
Well, Liba, with the puck, spotted Khatlets on the right side, gave it to him, and he rifled it in, and it's 4-1 now for Czechoslovakia. And we've played 6 minutes and 30 seconds in the second period. Bringing it in is Pashak. His shot just goes wide. Ryan-Engblom of Canada, he slaps it off the boards, can't get it out, as Czechoslovakia keeps it in. Pashak after it there, leaves it for Valek. Valek to Pashak. Pashak trying to come in front, cleared it, and it's blocked by goaltender Rick Wamsley and cleared down the ice into the Czechoslovakian zone. Valek comes out of the net, feeds it ahead to Vladimir Czalder, number 19. Czalder up the left wing side. Chasing him is Michel Goulet. It comes on the right wing side. This is Valek in behind the net. Leaves it there for Pashak. Trying to roll it in front, and it's taken by Team Canada's Scott Stevens. Stevens, a member of the Kitchener Rangers Memorial Cup Championship team of last year. Now Canada on the attack. Gartner to Dennis Marouk. Here's Goulet, and it just bounced off his stick, and it's called on the offside. And Canada facing, along with Ron Roosh at the Olympia Halle in West Germany, World Hockey Championship medal round. Dan Matheson in our Toronto studios, along with Tom Watt, John Robertson, and Rick Vive. And last goal, Khatlets from Liba at 6:16. 4-1 for Czechoslovakia as Canada's Craig Hartsburg clears the puck ahead, a delayed offside, and it's called at the Czechoslovakian line.
Well, it's been a frustrating game for Canada. For Czechoslovakia, you must remember that these are all kids, really. They've got 7 rookies on their team, only 5 second-year players in terms of the picture in the World Championships. Look at a veteran there in Marcel Dion. And 5 more only in the 3rd World Championship. So this is a rebuilding team, and right now they've got Canada down by 3.
Only 3 players from the 1976 Olympics on the Czechoslovakian team. Halupа, Dvorjak, and Pratysek-Chernik, the Czechoslovakian captain. Now Dave Taylor brings it out for Canada, coming in with Bob Gainie. Drops it to Gainie. Gainie spots Hартsburg, gives it to him. There's a shot, they score! Canada deflection in front. Marcel Dion was standing there, and Shervin was also in front, and Canada gets the second goal of the game.
Boy, they needed that. They needed about that point, too. Let's take a look at it again. Here comes the drop pass by Gainie, back to the point. He just feathered it out there, giving Hартsburg time to get it around. Here's Gainie now, back out to the blue line. Now watch in front of the net. Number 10 is Shervin, and he is there, and he deflected it. And into the net, and we'll see how they score it, but I believe eventually it'll be credited to young Gord Shervin of Brattlebird, Saskatchewan. Again, here's Gainie back in on it. The shot coming in from Hартsburg. Just drifting it in. Not a great shot, but low, and that's the thing you like to see, and it's deflected up into the top of the net.
Well, they've announced the goal, Hартsburg, Ron, but we showed it
automatic.
Several times. Games earlier today and last night, they somehow overlooked those deflections in front, but on the replay, no doubt about it, it was scored by Shervin. Here's a shot right on, stopped by goaltender Rick Wamsley. Well, they've announced the goal, Hартsburg, from Bob Gainie and Gord Shervin, but spotted on the replay, there's no doubt about it, it was Shervin. He should be given credit for the goal from Hартsburg.
Canada didn't get a goal. Things are, you know, you get behind like that, sometimes they just get to the point where it really deteriorates on you. Now it's just a two-goal hockey game with just a little less than half the game remaining.
Well, it's got to be a big lift as Brian Engblom has it in his own zone, trying to feed a pass to Brian Propp. He was checked, and Engblom has it again. Up the middle, intended for Daryl Sittler. Carried out by Craig Hартsburg and fires it into the Czechoslovakian zone. Backboard, Arnold Kadlec. Kadlec off the boards. On the right wing side goes Lukac. Got to center, was stopped. And Brian Propp clears it in for Team Canada. As heading to the bench, Sittler heads over there with James Patrick after they collided outside the Team Canada blue line. After it now, this is Scott Stevens, number 3, drops it to Dennis Baruch. He was checked by Liba. Liba, number 11, a rink-wide pass on that left side, going in now. Rusnak trying to get in front, and he was taken out of the play. Vincent Lukac tried to get to it. It's cleared to an open wing. After it for Team Canada is Dennis Baruch. Left it there for Scott Stevens. He's bumped by Kadlec, and Liba has it inside his own line, slips and falls. Got the puck outside the line, a delayed offside, but Czechoslovakia gets it out, so that's waved off. Baruch for Team Canada clears it into the Czechoslovakian zone. We played 9 minutes and 45 seconds in the second period. 4-2 for Czechoslovakia. A pass on the right side. Valik coming right in front, trying to lift it high, and it went away over the top of the net. Over the mesh and the glass, out of play. And we'll be back to the action here at the Olympia Halle in West Germany. 4-2 is the score for Czechoslovakia over Team Canada. Uvira clearing it in front, right on the Team Canada player stick. Paul Reinhardt clears it ahead with Charlie Simmer. Here's Marcel Dion trying to get it in front. He's checked. And up with the puck now is Hardina. Hardina up the middle to Pavel Richter. He's spun around. And for Team Canada, that's Hallward trying to get it out. Comes to Ruzicka. Drops it back to Svoboda in his own zone. Ahead now to Richter. Richter for Czechoslovakia as Marcel Dion goes to the bench. Brought in up over the Team Canada line. A save by Wamsley off Ruzicka.
Well, I'm not so sure that one was on the net, but Ruzicka let a good one go, a good wrist shot, and rather than prevent any further difficulty, Wamsley right there. Let's take a look at it. We got a good angle on it here as he lets the shot go. Wamsley reaching out. Well, may have caught the cut-off corner, but Wamsley, I think, using good common sense, just preventing any further play. Better to control the face-off here, and Sittler's been doing that regularly.
As we approach the 11-minute mark of period number 2, Canada trailing 4-2. Czechoslovakia in the red, gave the puck away there to Brian Propp, and he shoots it to Daryl Sittler. Sittler clears it into the corner. Going after it there is Michel Goulet trying to take it loose. He's spun around, and it comes out to the center ice area where James Patrick has it. He missed the last Team Canada game with a hip pointer, but is out there taking a regular shift in this one for Canada today. Gullet is upset on the far boards by Ladislav-Svozil. Now it comes in front, almost a costly mistake there by Czechoslovakia as they cleared it in front of their own net. Paul Reinhardt, number 7 of the Calgary Flames, brings it up to the center ice area. Tried to get it out, intercepted by Lukac. Right in, stopped by Walmsley. As Lukac collides with Rick Walmsley, and he's hurt.
Walmsley took it up high. And let's take a look at this one again.
To be played here in the second period. Here's a breakdown for Team Canada, but it's called offside.
Oh, show me that again.
The pass to Gardner-Ron, they're saying it originated from the Team Canada side of the center red line. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a replay. Here it is.
All right, there's the pass.
So close.
We have to see where he picked up the puck, and we didn't on that replay exactly whether he's straddling the line or not. Nice pass. Offside, according to the officials. Not only does Gardner, but everybody else here has to live with that.
Two teams at full strength. First game in the medal round for the two teams. Czechoslovakia leading this one 4-2. Canada will play Sweden in their next game and then wind up on Monday against the Soviet Union. The Soviets earlier today. Here's a chance for Goulet. Hit the post. Michel Goulet run that off the goal post as he was set up home free. What a glorious opportunity. Now a chance for Czechoslovakia, and Walmsley comes out of the net to smother that. Back to the line, Uvira's shot is blocked. Another drive, and that's knocked out. A shot from the side, and Walmsley covers up as play really opens up here midway in the second period.
Well, Michel Goulet, who in this past year scored 57 goals with the Quebec Nordique. Look at this. Just picking the far side, had his man beat, crawling down, with the puck coming back out off the post. And then the other end, same thing. Close call for Walmsley. Look at the traffic in front of the net there as Rusnak, number 18, took a whack in the rear end from Walmsley.
So 12:45 gone in the second period. What a glorious scoring opportunity. Michel Goulet ringing it off the goalpost. As I was saying, the game earlier today, the Soviets beat Sweden 4-0. This is Kadletz deep in his own zone. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Dave Taylor trying to dig it loose. Marcel Dionne goes in there to help out. Dionne and Taylor trying to come up with it. Geinie then collides with the Czechoslovakian player, and it comes to the center ice area. Brought over the line now. Kadletz clears it. And that's broken up. Dave Taylor comes back for Canada. The pass was behind Marcel Dionne. Richter gets it up on the left side. Coming in, Ruzicka. Oh, and it goes off the stick of the Team Canada player, Bob Geinie. Geinie trying to clear it with Walmsley out of the net, and it slides off his stick right into the net. Ruzicka will be given credit for the goal. And boy, do you hang your head low when something like that happens.
Well, Bob Geinie doesn't put a stick on it. It goes to the man anyway, and it's in the net. Walmsley was tangled up to his own man. It was Geinie there, but there was another man further off the picture on the left side who would have had the open net to shoot at. So, poor Bob. Just feel sorry for him. He's back-checking all the way, doing his job. And here comes the fake shot and the pass. Geinie will come into your picture. Racing in there into the slot is Chernik, but he intercepted it.
Perfect deflection by Bob Geinie.
Goodness.
Boy, 5-2 now for Czechoslovakia. Ruzicka gets credit for the goal. As it goes off, Bob D'Angelo's Kings. 12 years in the National Hockey League.
Team Canada opening it up a bit as they're behind it. I think they've tried to open it up a little too early, and they're paying the price.
You got to look back at that Michel Goulet ringing it off the goalpost, too. That could be the turning point of the game, because if it's in, they're down by 1. But now, as Czechoslovakia capitalizes on a miscue, and it's a 3-goal margin. And they have the puck again. Chernik gets it ahead to Yuri Lala. Lala in the corner. He's bumped off the puck, and there's a mix-up. Chernik along with James Patrick. Chernik has his helmet off and his gloves. He's ready to swing away. Patrick still has his gloves on, so we'll wait and see how referee Uhala handles this.
Young James Patrick 6'1", 195 pounds. Big fella playing in North Dakota now. They say he is capable of being a star in the National Hockey League right now, under a great deal of pressure from the New York Rangers to abandon the Olympic program and go turn professional. They say he can play with the Rangers right now or come to the fall. And he is headed for the penalty box.
So Patrick and František-Černík in the penalty box. 14-10, and they'll get minor penalties. Minor penalties to Patrick and to Černík.
You know, you get the feeling, Bernie, in this game that the final score is going to be something like 8-7. It's the strange kind of goals that are going in. Canada seems to be working hard for theirs. Everything's going wrong for the Canadian Team Canada right now.
And Czechoslovakia with the puck now. Kadlec drops it over to the far side. Dvorjak in behind his own net, then he dumps it up the middle. Here's a chance for Canada's Reinhart. He slaps away at it. And going after was Pfittlr, but it was knocked away from him. Long shot by Lukac. Bouncing puck comes to Pfittlr. Pfittlr leaves it behind the net for Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg gets a pass ahead now. Coming up and cleared into the Czechoslovakian zone. Right on. Stopped by goaltender Yuri Kralik. Reinhart, Pfittlr, Bob Gainie, and Hartsburg out there for Team Canada. As Reinhart goes after it, it's icing called against Czechoslovakia with the faceoff coming to the right of goaltender Yuri Kralik. He's backed up by Dominik Hasek, a youngster with the Czechoslovakian team. And there's Coach Dave King and Ludi Bukac, who played one time in the Central Hockey League back in 1964. And Derek Sanderson was one of his teammates that year, along with Terry Crisp. And Terry is doing quite a job in the OHA. Now to the action in the corner. It's taken by Ruzicka. Ruzicka spins behind the net, lost his balance, then picks the puck up again and brings it out. Bob Gainie had him lined up, but he sidestepped that check from Gainie, and the puck cleared. Walmsley out of the net, feeds it ahead to Bob Gainie. Gainie up to the center ice area for Team Canada. Trailing on the pass, the play is Scott Stevens. Swings it in front. Here's Stevens going after it. Stevens for Canada, keeps it in, over to Marcel Dionne to Gainie. Gainie spun around, gets it back to Stevens, a shot. Dionne into the corner for Team Canada. Dionne back to the line, Brian Engblom the drive. That's knocked down, he gets it again. Engblom getting set, right on, and that's deflected wide. And Gainie's hauled down, no penalty there. Marcel Dionne, a shot, right through the crease. Dionne going after it. He's bumped along the boards there with Ruzicka. Engblom keeps it in. Now it's shot down the ice. It'll be icing against Czechoslovakia. As back to touch it is Scott Stevens. And Ron, they were really putting the pressure on there.
It was moving around the puck, but almost by accident. It just seemed to me that nothing was really planned and things were happening that nobody was expecting, and still the pressure carried on simply because it kept coming back to members of Team Canada. But Canada really, I don't think they really expected a great offensive effort from Bob Gainie, who is not and will never ever admit to being an offensive type player. But he got right in there, sent it out into the slot, and I don't think Scott Stevens really expected it.
Here's a chance for Reinhart. A shot, he scores! Reinhart right from the face-off. It's won by Dennis Marouk. And Reinhart blasts it home for Team Canada's third goal.
Boy, that kid's got a shot, hasn't he?
Oh, boy.
Here it is, right off the draw, and just leans into it, and over the gloved hand of Yuri Kralik. And Canada now trails by 2 at 8-7. Look like a bad prediction.
Listen to the crowd buzzing here, Ron. There's a lot of Canada boosters as Reinhart took it right there, and boy, does he let it fly.
Boy, you can't win a draw any better than Dennis Marouk did either. Cleanly, right back to the man he wanted to get the puck to.
And they give an assist as well, Dennis Marouk and Gardner. Now, when did Gardner ever touch the puck? Marouk won the draw right back to Reinhart, but Gardner will take the assist, I'm sure. Over the line, there's a shot. That's not, as Ozil lets it go. František-Černík digs after it, in behind the net, trying to dump it in front. Here's Lala. Yuri Lala, he cleared it right onto the stick of Michel Goulet. We've played 16 and a half minutes in the second period. It's now 5-3 for Czechoslovakia and a break for Czechoslovakia. Черник in all alone, right in, and he's tripped. And there will be a penalty coming up to Canada, a tripping infraction. And when they say they're good and bad, that's a good penalty. Welcome back to the Olympia Holly in Munich, West Germany. This is Bernie Pascal, along with Ron Roos. Team Canada a man short. Hартсбурg in the penalty box for tripping. Craig Hартsbурg at 16:45. From the draw, Увира couldn't handle the puck, and it rolls out to the center ice area, and he brings it deep into his own zone. Увира for Czechoslovakia. The pass comes to Rusnak. Rusnak over the line to Liba. Liba, number 11, is checked, and it's cleared to the line and out. 20 seconds have expired in the penalty to Craig Hартsbурg. A chance now for Lukac. Lukac takes it in behind the net, gives it to Liba, trying to jam it in front. It's underneath goaltender Rick Wamsley. As Czechoslovakia moving the puck around with authority on this power play. Hартsbурg in the box for...
And Dave Gardner recently, this past year, in this country to play.
And you know, you look at the team from Italy, Ron, many are calling it Canada Team B. The Bob Manos and the Iannonis, a lot of Canadian players on the team from Italy.
Don't forget Jim Corsi, former
Jim Corsi, the goaltender, yes. Here's a chance now. Dvorjak passes it over right onto the stick of Arnold Kádlec, and he fanned as he tried to clear it in, but he gets it back. This is Kádlec dumping it into the corner. Увира in behind the net. A chance. Czalder trying to move in front. Ruzicka's knocked down, and Team Canada has it. Daryl Sittler. Sittler up over the line with Bob Gainie. Gainie into the corner. Sittler jumped on the loose puck. Now he heads to the bench on a line change. 1 minute remaining in the penalty to Craig Hартsbурg. Ruzicka for Czechoslovakia. Dropped it. They move in front. Czalder trying to get in front of Wamsley. It goes back to the line. Kept in by Arnold Kádlec. Ruzicka into the corner. Gives it to Richter. Richter drops it back to Dvorjak. He passes it over. Gets it again. Dvorjak gives it to Czalder. Czalder into the corner. Rusnak in front. And that's stopped by goaltender Wamsley with a little defensive help at the side there by Brian Engblom.
Well, if the first period belonged, let's take a look at this action right here as Ruzicka gets the puck, shoots it into the crowd there. Rick has lost sight of it, and best he can do really is lie there and hope that somewhere underneath all of that padding it is. If the first period really belonged to the play, this second period really has been Paul Reinhardt's. He's really controlled things an awful lot out there, and of course has a goal to show for it.
Knocked down at the line. Czechoslovakia still on the power play. Lala got it in front. 21 seconds left in the penalty to Craig Hартsbурg. It's 5-3 for Czechoslovakia, and they jam it along the boards right in front of the Czechoslovakian bench. That's Ladislav Svozil against number 27 of Canada, Daryl Sittler of the Philadelphia Flyers. Down the ice it goes, and Hартsbурg has 9 seconds left in his penalty. In behind his own goal, Milan Halupa got it ahead. A chance for Svozil, showing a good burst of speed. Gets by Reinhardt, still has it. Hартsbурg steps on the ice. Черник behind. Svozil's all tied up there, along with Paul Reinhardt, and taking the puck loose, and it comes ahead to Gullet. Gullet trying to get that long pass on the right side for Marcel Dion. Черnik's shot. That's knocked down by Reinhardt. In behind, jammed at the side, and covering up is Rick Wamsley.
Well, Wamsley, as you see Черник on the way to the bench. You notice on the power plays, and by the way, the penalty has expired now, the power plays they're using in certain key situations, the fellow who seems to be winning most of the draws and the number one face-off man for Team Canada, Daryl Sittler, and you saw him take the draw, go to the bench as soon as the draw was won, and isn't it interesting the way he won that, golfing it off the backhand all the way down the ice instead of trying to draw it to his own man. He's been turning his shoulder to his face-off opponent.
Daryl Sittler, one of the outstanding performers for Team Canada at these World Championships, and Ron, as you mentioned, very important on those face-offs. 40 seconds left to play in the period. Marcel Dionne has it over the line. Oh, and he tried to get it ahead to Goulet, and it was knocked away from him and pinned against the boards. 19-29, 31.
Czechoslovakian coach a different look out there.
From the draw, it comes right to Czechoslovakia's Lukac coming in front, and Gardner backhands that away. Svoboda is over the line, but it's called on an offside pass with 21 seconds remaining in the period.
I talk about a different look, though. Can you put together a faster line than a line that has Mike Gardner and Michel Goulet on the wings? Marcel Dionne gets his passing game in gear, and he can really get those guys moving up ice. Gardner is one of the great skaters in the National Hockey League, and Goulet is right there with him.
Two players that really dance on their skates. They're outstanding. Czechoslovakia leading by 2 goals. Charlie Simmer moves to the left side now. Sitttler comes out to take the face-off outside the line against Pashek, number 21, who won the draw. Comes back to Kadlec-Dvorjak, a long shot, and Wamsley got a piece of that, although it might have been off the net. Dave Taylor of the Los Angeles Kings ahead to Charlie Simmer. 7 seconds remaining in the period. Taylor spins around. Oh, and if he had got that pass to Simmer, he would have been home free, but it's called on the offside with 1 second left. And Simmer, no one was near him, but Taylor unfortunately didn't spot him.
Well, you look back on period number 2, and what a strange period of hockey. 3 goals for Czechoslovakia, 2 by Canada. It was 2-1 at the end of the first period. We had a goal post hit by Goulet. We had Bob Gainie put one into his own net that was credited to Ruzicka. Canada has had to struggle for the ones they've got. Shervin, speaking of that, the Olympic program is of prime concern right now.
Well, the Bats' commitment to
It's been beautiful weather, and what a beautiful area, Ron. You're most familiar, of course, with Munich, West Germany, having lived here at one point. But it is just a fascinating course live on the full CTV network. It's a few minutes after 10 p.m. here, a few minutes after 1 in the afternoon on the West Coast in Vancouver. We hope wherever you're watching this game today, you're enjoying our CTV coverage as Czechoslovakia leading Team Canada 5-3. Referee Juhola of Finland drops the puck. The third period is underway. Canada gets possession right off the bat. Sitttler passes on the right side. Over the line goes John Anderson, and he tried to get it in front, and it was knocked away. Hartsburg is on defense for Team Canada with Doug Hallward, number 2. Broken stick lying on the ice. Hallward slaps it out of danger. And now Svozil drops it back to Yuri Lala. Czechoslovakia, their own side of the center red line. Now Benak will try to bring it out with Yuri Lala. Lala delayed offside, but Canada gets it and clears it out. John Anderson coming up with Brian Propp. Anderson coming in front of the net, knocked off his stick. Hartsburg slaps at it, and Hallward is back to cover up for Canada. Hallward to Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg takes it in. Canada caught on a line change as Hartsburg is pinned against the boards, and it's brought out in a long shot by Svoboda. Gardner checks. Liba and Stevens now for Canada. This is Stevens. Drops it into the middle to Dennis Maruc. Over to Gardner. Gardner's shot. Trying to get the short side, and that's stopped by goaltender Yuri Kralik. We've played the minute 20 as that drive by Goulet is stopped by goaltender Kralik. Good opportunity by Goulet as he spun around, and the puck is held in the corner.
Good chance for Goulet. Spun and pulled the trigger quickly. That's the way you score over 50 goals a year. Got it in the slot. You know, I'm watching the line changes, and the last line change Team Canada had, and there's the quick trigger there by Goulet, and a good save by Kralik.
There haven't been too many complimentary remarks about the ice surface here either. They've had to delay the game on a couple of occasions to fix up patches on the ice. And talking to NHL referee Ron Fournier, who is representing the NHL officiating here, he said the ice has really been one of the troubled areas here at the championships in Munich. Dennis Maruc, he clears the puck right to Scott Stevens, who goes back behind his own net. As we approach the 2-minute mark here in the third period, Gardner deflects the puck into the Czechoslovakian zone. This could be icing. Back for Dvorjak, and icing is called. It will be Play just underway. Tim Waters of Team Canada shoots the puck down the ice. And again, icing indicated. Benak gets back. And they'll bring the face-off right back into the Pacek, Wallach, and Czalder, the forward line for Team Czechoslovakia. Bob Gainy's out there for Canada with Taylor and Marcel Dionne. Dionne clears it to an open wing. A race for it there. Halupa got to it. Both teams at full strength. The Czalder now comes out of his own zone to the Team Canada blue line. He was stopped. And James Patrick, a lead pass for Marcel Dionne. Into the Czechoslovakian zone. Yuri Kralik out of the net. Dionne trying to dig the puck loose, but it's brought back now by big number 21, Dusan Pashak. A weak bouncing shot goes into the corner where Paul Reinhardt is after it there. Reinhardt came right over to the World Championships once Calgary eliminated by the Edmonton Oilers. Stepped off the plane and got into the lineup. Now here comes Canada over the line, but it's called on an offside. A little difficult to hear the whistle that time, blown by Gustavo Alamo of Italy, one of the linesmen.
Young hockey team, and there's one of the young fellows there, Jussi Kralik.
Well, you mentioned, too, the players. Rastashny's, of course, in Quebec, Ron, but you look around, Dvorjak in Philadelphia, Halinka and Bubla in Vancouver, Novi in Washington, Inachuk. Boy, there's a lot of them. They'd like to have those players in the lineup here. Of course, they have Dvorjak, the first professional ever to play for Czechoslovakia in the World Hockey Championship. Dvorjak, a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. Here's a shot! Proppp scores!
Canada just got a break.
What a break there. The puck came in front to Brian Proppp, and the puck, and one goal separates the two teams.
Watch it come off the skate. The puck deflecting out in front of the net. Here it comes now, and it just winds up on Propp's stick. It was going to hit the defenseman and probably roll across the goal mouth, instead out in front past Lala and right onto Propp's stick. Here it comes. You get a better view of it here. From the corner, moving in there is Reinhardt. Now here it is. Sittler out off the skate and right to Brian Propp. And Canada hasn't had any of these in this game where it bounced their way. Suddenly, it's a one-goal hockey game. The goal they needed. Coming at 3:31.
Brian Propp, a 40-goal scorer with the Philadelphia Flyers. Another shot right from the draw. John Anderson streaking in. Oh, what a big lift that'll be for Team Canada as Propp scores from Darryl Sittler. Darryl Sittler will take the draw, wins it, and Paul Reinhardt just failed to reach it. But he has it now. Gives it to Craig Hartsburg. Backhands it ahead. Brian Propp let it go. He would have been offside. Reinhardt now, number 7 for Team Canada. Up to Darryl Sittler. He clears it in. Anderson went in after it. It hit a weird spot on the boards and came right back in front. Now a break. Oh, almost a lead pass there for Czechoslovakia's Vincent Lukacs. Wamsley out of the net. Ahead to Propp, trying to get it in the middle to Darryl Sittler. And it's dropped back into the Czechoslovakian zone. This is Benak. Benak gets it up on the left wing side. Wallach clears it in behind the net. And Rusnak tried to jam it on the short side, and he was stopped. Now Canada on the attack again, over the line, and hauled down is Paul Reinhardt. He looks at the referee, but no penalty. And you can hear the whistling from the spectators. They thought there should have been one, at least the Canadian supporters. 5-4 for Czechoslovakia. Number 12 is Pavel Richter. He has the puck over the Team Canada line. 3-on-1. Richter coming in. A shot jammed at the short side, and Brian Engblom in the corner. Jamming there with Yuri Hardina, and he pins him along the boards to get a whistle. Canada trailing by just one goal, and that last one, Ron, no doubt will give them a revitalized approach to this.
He broke that one up himself, and that's what you don't want now. It's a one-goal hockey game.
Now Marcel Dionne trying to dig the puck loose there. It comes to Vladimir Czalder. He gets it out to 21, Pashak. Over the line now goes Wallach. Wallach, and there's a slashing penalty coming up. A shot. That stopped Canada. A delayed penalty coming against Team Canada as Wamsley stops that. Coming over to get it is Gainy, and it's touched there by Patrick. And now the penalty coming up as the Finnish referee, Yahola, calls the slashing infraction.
It'll be slashing to Patrick, and put a little bit too much into that one as the attacking forward tried to circle the net.
Face-off in the Team Canada zone, and here it is, Ron.
He got a little step on him, and there's a pretty good slash right there over the forearm of Valeck, and that drew it right away. You see the referee at the bottom of your picture.
Time of the penalty, 5 minutes and 30 seconds of the third period. Hартсbурg gets his stick on it and shoots it down the ice. Arnold Kadlec leaves it in his own zone. Czechoslovakia on the power play, leading by 1 goal. Bringing it over the line. Here's a chance now for Liba. Liba getting set, right in the middle, a drive, and that's stopped by Wamsley. And again, Hартsbурg shoots it down the ice. Backboard goes to Dvorjak, a second-team All-Star at the championships last year in Finland. Now a member of the NHL Philadelphia Flyers. Jaroslav Dvorjak up on the right side. Hартsbурg had Ruzicka all lined up, and he just sidestepped him. Reinhardt gives it to Bob Gainie. Gainie backhands it off the boards and down the ice. Ron, they're doing a good job of killing off this penalty. 1:05 remaining in the penalty to James Patrick of Team Canada. Patrick, the youngster from Saskatchewan, who is playing at North Dakota University. Off the boards on the right side, Hартsbурg breaks that up again. And he's been instrumental in clearing the puck down on 3 different occasions on this Czechoslovakian power play as they wind up once again in their own side of center. Up over the line goes Lala. Gives it to Pavel Richter. Richter back behind the net to Lala. Lala swings around, watched by Hартsbурg. Richter calls for the pass. He gets it, number 12. Richter drops it back to the line and outside the blue line. 19 seconds left in the Team Canada penalty. Brought back in by Yuri Lala. He has 2 goals for Czechoslovakia tonight. There's Hартsbурg breaking it up again, and it's cleared out. Patrick has 5 seconds left in his minor penalty. One last attempt here on the power play as Richter brings it in. In front, Rusnak is shot. As Patrick steps on the ice, Canada back at full strength. And Hартsbурg was out there for most of that 2-minute power play opportunity for Czechoslovakia. 7 minutes and 45 seconds have been played here in the third period. Czechoslovakia 5 and Canada 4. Dennis Marouk up over the line. Coming in with Gardner a shot. And that goes wide. Going after it is Gordon Shervin, number 10. Shervin had trouble. It comes back to Brian Engblom. Up on the right side to Gardner. He clears it in off the board. A race there. Marouk goes after it. Got by him. Shervin then collides with his own player. Shervin goes down heavily as he and Scott Stevens collided. And Shervin goes to the bench. And he's hurt. Now it's brought out by Brian Propp. Propp got it outside the line, then was stopped. A chance now for Potjak. He's hauled down. Another Team Canada penalty. A trip.
Power play goals scored against them. The old line, and they say it year after year after year. And this is perhaps the best disciplined team we've seen come to these World Championships. Shervin is now heading towards the clinic. He appears to have a towel up around his mouth. He may have taken a stick or an elbow up around his mouth within that collision with his own teammate. Scott Stevens is a big fella. And the Team Canada is taking them right now.
So another power play opportunity for Czechoslovakia. They lead 5-4. And the puck bounces off the boards right back into the Czechoslovakian zone. Kadlec, number 8. As we approach the 9-minute mark here in period number 3. Canada a man short as Lukac sends it behind the net. Rusnak backhands it, nobody there. And Rusnak fires it back into his own zone. 1:30 left in the penalty to Scott Stevens of Canada. This is Miroslav Dvorjak up over the line, trying to get it to Liba, and Canada breaks that up, but it's a delayed offside called at the Team Canada blue line.
It's been a pretty good one here at this tournament.
1:21 left in the penalty to Scott Stevens of the Washington Capitals. and Czechoslovakia leading 5-4. This is Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg pinned against the boards by Chernik. In helping out, Gardner's upset. There'll be a penalty. Tripping infraction now to Czechoslovakia. I believe it's Yuri Lala. Or Chernik perhaps going to the box. There it is, Bratisak Chernik for tripping. And there's 1:04 left in Stevens' penalty.
What a terrible time to take a penalty. Chernik, great time if you're cheering for Team Canada. Well, you're in on offense. You just don't do that sort of thing. A penalty coming at 9:29.
At number 3. That's how it stands at 5-4, Czechoslovakia leading. Canada's next game will be Saturday against Sweden. A game to be televised live on CTV. And then, of course, next Monday, Canada will play the Soviet Union. Here's Halupa getting a shot. That's knocked down. Sittler trying to get it out. Kept in by Yuri Lala. He's bumped against the boards. Digging for it. And Paul Reinhardt lifts it out to the center ice area where Pashak clears it inside his own blue line. Now he gets it back. Here comes Pashak in all alone. A shot. And Walmsley stops that. Engblom for Team Canada. Watched by Pashak. Clears it ahead. Reinhardt over the line. And it's called on an offside pass. And it'll come back to the Team Canada side of that center red line.
By the way, a name, of course, obviously not being in the National Hockey League, but he's run into all kinds of physical problems. Last year it was a breathing problem, and this year more. We'll tell you the rest about it later.
12 seconds remaining in the penalty to Scott Stevens. 1:08 left in the Czechoslovakian penalty to Chernik. Here's Reinhardt going after the puck. Comes up with it in the Czechoslovakian zone. Then he's pinned against the boards. While we have a moment, I'd like to convey our thanks to Doug Kelcher and the folks at Labatt for their cooperation in helping us bring the
even strength, or will be when in the 1 second that it's required for Stevens to come on the ice. But then Canada will be shorthanded at the tag end of the penalty to Chernik for 1:02.
So Stevens' penalty has expired. He's been called over to the bench by Dave King, and Bob Gainie steps on to replace him. Here comes Hartsburg. Hartsburg at center. Up over the line, and it's icing indicated by one linesman. Now the other linesman sees him and blows the whistle. And the face-off brought back into the Team Canada zone with 42 seconds left in the penalty third period. And we've played 10 minutes and 48 seconds here in period number 3. Bob Gainie, number 23, drops it back, and it's head now to Paul Reinhardt. Cleared off the stick of Daryl Sittler into the Czechoslovakian zone, where Kadlec is after it there. Gainie checked him. Comes to the Czechoslovakian line, then knocked down. Sittler keeps it in for Canada. Reinhardt was going one way, the puck the other. And out of the net is Rick Walmsley to cover up. Liba in deep for Czechoslovakia, number 11. He's knocked against the boards by Paul Reinhardt. Hartsburg, number 5, has it for Team Canada. Drops it back to Mike Gardner. Czechoslovakia is back at full strength, so Canada, a man short, 1 minute remaining in the penalty to James Patrick. So Czechoslovakian team on the power play, Chernik. He leaves it there for Yuri Lala. Lala gets by one check, coming up on the right side. Moving in now with Pashak. Lala to Pashak, a shot, loose puck, and Walmsley covers up and makes the save.
Good job by Scott Stevens there, right in front of the net. 38 seconds left in the power play now. He went down. He's learning a little bit, I think, from Brian Engblom, who he played with all year. They're the two of them, Engblom and Stevens. Stevens down, blocks any further play in front of the net. And then Walmsley covers up, going to his knees on that loose puck.
A lot of NHL representation here. Bob Berry of the Montreal Canadiens, Jake Milford, Arthur Griffith Jr. of the Vancouver Canucks, Cliff Fletcher of the Calgary Flames, Barry Fraser, the chief scout of the Edmonton Oilers, Glenn Sonmore, Lou Nanne of Minnesota. Most NHL teams are represented, and Jerry McNamara, the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, had a chat with Jerry earlier today.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers, who are having so much success in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year, looking with great deal of interest at Gord Shervin, who is one of their players, a 10th-round pick. Boy, Edmonton has really had some success in the later rounds of the draft. It's showing on the ice right now, but also with some of the up-and-comers.
Darryl Sittler gets set for the face-off against Ruzicka with 28 seconds left in the Team Canada penalty, being served by Patrick, as Canada called for a stick measurement on Arnold Cadlett, and it backfired as the stick was legal. So Canada, a man short. Patrick now has 17 seconds left in his penalty. Bringing the puck out, Ruzicka gets over the Team Canada line. Engblom then took him out of the play. Hартсбурg gives it to Brian Engblom. He clears it back into the Czechoslovakian zone. Kralik out of the net, and the penalty now has expired. Canada is back at full strength. Richter has it now for Czechoslovakia. Clears it, nobody there, but he goes in after it. Richter gets to it for Czechoslovakia, drops it back to the line. A drive by Dvorjak is stopped. And Dave Taylor, number 18 for Canada, ahead to Marcel Dionne. Coming in with Paul Reinhardt. Dionne over the line, and it's called on the offside. And Munich, West Germany. Czechoslovakia leading Canada by a score of 5-4. The puck almost stolen in front there. Some good digging by Dave Taylor. Now it's cleared off the boards into the Team Canada zone. Doug Hallward goes back, touches it. Icing called against Czechoslovakia.
Well, let's see what happens now. Who do you put out to take the draw? It's a key one. I don't see many icings, of course, in international hockey. To the right of your screen there, Jean Perron, former coach. I guess he still is the coach at the University of Moncton. Assistant coach on our Olympic team program for Dave King, University of Saskatchewan.
And George Kingston from the University of Calgary. So
a triumvirate.
That's right. What a job they've done.
They're going to use Maruc to take the draw here.
Dennis Maruc had it momentarily. Now here's a chance. It's caught by Michel Goulet. And Kralik stopped that. Goulet digging in the corner. Comes to the other side. Gartner goes in there to forecheck. Gartner trying to get the puck, but it's brought out by Vladimir Czalder. Over the line, a shot. Hit the post. They thought it was in. I saw the net falls too, but they say it's off the post. Here's a chance now in his own zone. Czalder trying to set it up again for Czechoslovakia. It's cleared, but not out. Czalder gets it again for Team Czechoslovakia. It's cleared into the Team Canada zone. Reinhardt. He passes it over to Craig Hартсбурg. To Michel Goulet, to Dennis Maruc, to Gartner in front. And he reached out, and Kralik got there first and just steered it away. Dangerous scoring opportunity. Reinhardt touches the puck. Icing is called against Team Canada.
Vladimir Ruzicka, and did he hit the post, or did it, in fact, go into the net? It came off with the reaction that it would be a post. All right, let's see. It's cleared. Oh, this is the play here close in the Czechoslovakian end, so they're unable to get us the replay we really wanted to see.
So it's 5-4 for Czechoslovakia. We've played 14 minutes and 25 seconds here in the third period. Canada has scored just one goal in this third period, but it gets them right back into it. Sittler trying to get the puck from the side. Here's a chance in front. John Anderson lost it as he pulled in front of goaltender Kralik. Drops it back now. Brian Engblom gets the return pass coming straight up the middle for Team Canada. Trying to drop it to Anderson in front. Sittler goes after it there. Anderson digging. John Anderson of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who suffered a nasty cut under the chin. 20.
Trying to protect a one-goal lead. It can be very dangerous.
Bob Gainie trying to get the puck. Swings at it. Missed, but it's kept in there by Brian Engblom, who's on defense with James Patrick, number 6. Engblom tries to get it over. Charlie Simmer, number 22. Out there with Bob Gainie. Now Marcel Dionne is on the ice. Marcel Dionne, the captain, goes after the puck, brings it in. Here's Gainie trailing on the play. Dionne's shot is covered up by Kralik. So there is no rebound for Gainie.
Well, Dionne needed a man in the slot there. He went in, and then Kralik really had an easy save to make because he just couldn't find the man. Good move by Dionne with that little kick that he has. He just stepped around the defenseman, Dvorjak, Now he moves in, but there's nobody in the slot for him, so he had to take the shot, hoping that Kralik would make a mistake, and Kralik hasn't made that many of them here tonight.
4 minutes and 28 seconds remain to be played in the third period. Here's a break now for Liba, coming in for Czechoslovakia. Reinhardt is back quickly to cover him. Swinging around, a shot by Pashak. And Gardner has it for Team Canada, ahead to Dennis Maruc. Gardner gets it back again, and then it's broken up. Paul Reinhardt, number 7. He clears it ahead. Maruc deflects it in. A bouncing puck. Fights the goaltender, Kralik. And he holds onto it to get a whistle.
400 international games, but there's the fellow the pressure's on right now. A young fellow named Yiddy Kralik. Face off with Fittler taking it now. He'll be trying to get the draw back to Doug Hallward. Or, of course, the other point man being Paul Reinhardt. Watch the way he takes this draw. It's illegal in the NHL, but he turns his shoulder into his man and controls it that way, almost interference.
Both teams at full strength. Ryan Propp is out there with John Anderson as well. As Milan Halupa clears it ahead, here's Pratisak-Chernik. Chernik coming in with Ruzicka, and it's covered up by Wamsley, taking no chances, holding on to it. And that's what you see at the other end. Every time the puck comes near Yuri Kralik, he smothers it immediately.
Well, of course, the way to slow up a team that's trying to go on the attack, here's the shot. It would have cleared the top of the net. The way to slow up a team that's trying to get on the attack and trying to get its game in gear and get some pressure on it is just to keep getting whistles.
And so with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the third period, Canada has scored the only goal of this third period, and they trail 5-4. Ryan-Engblom to Doug Hallward. Hallward tried to get it out, almost put it right onto the stick of Dvoržak. Now it's brought in by number 24, Yuri Hrdina. Ryan-Engblom checks him against the boards, and another whistle, and the referee indicating it'll come outside the blue line.
Well, they got some offense out there, even on the blue line now with Hartsburg and Reinhardt.
And it comes back to Paul Reinhardt, number 7, gives it to Craig Hartsburg, 2 late additions to Team Canada. Once Minnesota and Calgary were eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, they joined Team Canada in Germany. Dusan Pashak, he's checked. Cleared to an open wing, and after it there goes Edward Ovira. He's hammered against the boards. Lukac sends it into the Team Canada zone with Hartsburg getting it there. Hartsburg bringing it up. We have 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in the third period. The puck cleared in on an off play, the Soviet Union. Another game to be televised on CTV. We hope you're enjoying the telecast wherever you're watching across Canada. Here's a break for Team Canada's Dennis Maruc to Gardner. Oh, and he couldn't control that bouncing puck. Some good checking there by Dennis Maruc, sprung the puck loose. Now Michel Goulet in the corner, drops it back. Dennis Maruc, number 21, drops it for Gardner. He's checked by Chernik. Puck goes loose. Gardner still digging for it. He's hauled down. There'll be a penalty to Czechoslovakia. A holding call, and what an opportunity now for Canada on the power play. A holding infraction against Czechoslovakia, and the face-off will be in the Czechoslovakian zone.
All right, there is now 2:33 left in the hockey game. You go on a power play. Here's the play, a lost stick on the play. It's the bouncing puck. And both Maruc and, of course, Gardner, who had the great opportunity, just couldn't control the bouncing puck. But into the corner, he's finally hauled down as far as the penalty.
Yaroslav Benok in the penalty box around. Sittler will take the draw against Darius Rusnak, number 18. Both players out of position on the faceoff. Now the linesman says, okay, let's go. And moving in is John Anderson. Anderson against Liba. Anderson gets possession. It's cleared and just comes outside the line. Reinhardt to Craig Hartsburg. Liba in for checking. Reinhardt has difficulty with the pass. Now he gets it over to Brian Propp. Propp clearing it in front. Sittler goes into the corner, trying to get it back. Propp has broken his stick, heads to the bench for a new one. Hartsburg into the corner. Sittler trying to get it in front. He slipped as he attempted to clear the pass. Now it's lifted high and up into the spectators. just below our telecast location here. We're just inside the Team Canada red line, almost right on the blue line. Good location, good facilities here at the Olympia Halle in Munich, West Germany.
All right, now the situation is an advantage.
I think they'll keep him in there, Ron, with this much time remaining. 1:33 left in the penalty. Now the puck is brought back to the line. Craig Hartsburg getting set. Hartsburg drops it into the corner now. Here's Goulet in front. Comes off the stick. Gardner goes after it. Gives it to Paul Reinhardt. He was checked and it's cleared out. A break now for Dusan Paschak. A shot. And that goes wide of goaltender Rick Wamsley. 1:10 left in the power play. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to play in the game. And the puck is cleared down the ice into the Team Canada zone. Took a weird bounce. Fortunately, there was no Czechoslovakian player in front. Reinhardt coming in with Marcel Dion. It's called on a delayed offside at the Czechoslovakian line. 1:28 remaining in the game. 50
members, the one at the Forum. Zorilla against Vachon, the 76 Canada Cup.
Ryan Propp out there now for Team Canada. The pass goes behind John Anderson. Anderson with 45 seconds left in the power play. Canada, Paul Reinhardt, watched by Liba, gets the pass ahead to Anderson with Daryl Sittler. Anderson getting set. The shot goes over the top of the net. Hartsburg keeps it in. Craig Hartsburg to Sittler right in front. Loose puck, and it's backhanded down the ice. 1 minute left to play in the game. Czechoslovakia leading 5-4. Here's Reinhardt coming in for Canada. Reinhardt in front, and he was checked. Hartsburg with 15 seconds left in the penalty to Benot. And it's cleared down the ice. Wamsley out of the net. He backhands it off the boards. Reinhardt trying to get to it, and he has possession. Reinhardt for Team Canada trying to get a lead. Pass ahead. Wamsley's trying to head to the net. 30 seconds left to play in the game. Both teams at full strength. The final 30 seconds. Here's Sittler. He clears it on the far side. Wamsley's heading to the bench, but he can't get there as the puck is taken by Paschak. 17 seconds left to play. The puck is pinned underneath the player in front of the Czechoslovakian bench, and Wamsley heading off now for the extra attacker.
Well, you know who's going to be...
Obviously, they're going to try to slap it right from the draw, get it in there, and then the extra attacker will come out. Wamsley standing almost at the Team Canada blue line. 14 seconds left in the game. Czechoslovakia leading 5-4. There it is, slapped into the corner. Wamsley's off for the extra attacker, and that's Daryl Sittler coming out. Canada with possession in behind the net, and it's intercepted there by Cadlett, trying to get it. Canada looking for a face-off, and the game is over. Czechoslovakia holding on to defeat Team Canada by a one-goal margin, 5-4. Canada, after sloppy play earlier, settled down, Ron, and gave it all they had, and just fell short.
Well, the fact is, in the final minutes, when Canada was trying to get something going, when they had the power play, and they played
Saturday, and we'll bring you the game between Canada